Hi, and welcome to another episode of We Hate Skill Windows, a podcast about hating skill windows. I am joined today by my co host Chris, and I am Rye. Today we interview. Wait, we interview? Today we review Doctor's Rebirth. I can't speak today. That's fine. Today we're reviewing Doctor's Rebirth. This is a wuxia sort of cultivation. Yes, cultivation. Like, no, it's not a regressor actually. It's more like a isekai. It's one of those where the main character gets sucked into a book they're reading. So, whatever genre that is. Like a offshoot of isekai. But anyway, the story basically follows the plot of a guy who I don't actually remember what he used to do. I didn't read through the whole thing again. I just sort of skimmed some parts that I recalled. But he's like a doctor in real life or something, or maybe just like in the medical field. I don't remember exactly, but he's reading this like wuxia novel, and he's like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." And then I think, falls asleep and gets turned into it, something like that.
He
I could be
he
wrong.
tried saving some kids in Africa, and then
Oh,
like
did he
they shot
die?
him. Yeah,
Wait. Oh, it's one of the ones where he dies. I thought he just like got sucked into the book. Could be
he
wrong.
freaking he
Let me
was
look
like
it up
depressed or
again.
something, so he like
Okay,
went to like the Doctors Without Borders,
it's
and then
fine.
like they shot him.
I may be a wonderful opener to a podcast where I reveal that I didn't read the thing. Let me go and read the first chapter again, because I don't remember how he died or whatever. Uh, okay, so he is a doctor. Who would imagine that a war would break out in the place I went to volunteer? So I don't think he knew.
Yeah.
He's a doctor. War broke out. He's trying to save lives. Yep, someone shot him in the medical tent alongside some kids, and he died.
And boom, child. But he's only alive in a pile of dead bodies. Ooh.
Yeah, but this is also the book that he read, I think, if I
Yeah,
recall correctly, because he sort of knows the
yeah.
plot of the book, and for some reason, the child then uses like advanced medical
Surgery
techniques to
and save the people
to
around
save
him.
the people around him,
Yeah.
and they're all like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" But sure, thanks, I guess. And no one really questions it. He becomes an apprentice to the White Dragon Sect clinic, which is like a highly
Yeah.
acclaimed clinic in the Murim world that he's in. And yeah, it's like nice. It's not bad.
Hmm?
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
it. It's just sort of pleasant. I don't know. Not a whole lot goes on. I sort of wish more things happened. No, granted, I'm asking for too
Oh,
much. This is a doctor's story about how he became a doctor again in the Murim world. There wouldn't be any fights or like insane martial arts things, right? But there
I
are.
like how his first step as a doctor was to build like the heating thing. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, he did the exact same thing. Or
The
wait, not the
greatest
exact same thing,
state
but like
developer
very
thing.
similar to what the greatest
Yeah.
state developer did. They both
It's just like
gravitated toward that like Korean heated floor thing.
I mean, like okay, it kind of makes sense with the state developer. How this doctor is like, all right, this is what you're gonna need to do.
Well,
Like,
wait.
okay.
So maybe we're just not understanding of these cultural differences. Maybe in Asia, maybe if someone is suffering from what like a chi blockage, you can just
Oh,
put them in a room with heated floors and they'll
oh yeah.
like flourish better. Maybe we're the uncultured ones, you know?
I'm just
It's a little improbable.
crazy.
I love the part
It's like
where later on he introduces but not bacteria, but like what's it? Not ibuprofen. Damn it, what am I thinking of? Amoxicillin?
penicillin.
Penicillin. yeah, penicillin to the world. And it's like, I'm gonna cultivate this bacteria, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, I'm making medicine. And then also the bit later on where he like enforces the rule that every surgeon must wear the surgical mask and gloves like they're not from the Murum world. This is a funny little thing that we stumbled upon. I did like reading it though. It's really wholesome in a way. If
Oh,
you, huh? Hold on.
oh, go on, go on.
Do you disagree?
Oh, like this guy is so conniving for being
Wait,
a Doctors with Borders volunteer.
he didn't know there
I
was
don't
gonna be a
know.
war. What the fuck?
No,
What?
no, 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 no. So he's a volunteer, right? So he's like a doctor, right? And
Uh huh.
he quit being a doctor at his hospital because he was like, oh, prick, everyone's so greedy. It just seems like everyone's there just to get a promotion and stuff. So he wants to go to Doctors with Borders or Without Borders. Dies immediately. He goes to the White Dragon Clinic. There's this guy with a daughter. She's dying, and he's like, "Please save me." And he's like, "Oh, it's one of the rabble outside." Oh, but this is the guy
Hold,
who's really good at archery.
hold on. Hold on. He wanted to help the benefactor who took him in by giving him a strong
Oh,
bodyguard.
yes, yes,
And in the
yes.
process, he saved someone who was not gonna get saved.
Mm.
It's like if someone saves you because your dad's rich and he knows that you'll get, like, you'll give him a $50 or $100 gift card later, you know?
You're
It's
right.
wholesome.
It's wholesome.
Yeah, I sort of forgot about that part. You're right. He did save the guy. There was that like archer guy who was like beating up people outside because he wanted his daughter to be saved, but like no one would save his daughter because he's like, was he just like not part of the moral sects or something? I don't remember the
Uh,
reason, but or was it just that he was too poor? I don't know. People were
the
mean
guy
to
was
him.
literally just too poor. He was just poor. Couldn't
Yeah.
afford medicine.
People were mean to him. People wouldn't save his daughter. The guy was like, "Oh, hold on a minute. That's the guy I read about in my like light novel, and he's like really influential later on. I should probably keep him alive so my healer senior that I built the heated floors for can like live a comfortable life knowing that there's a capable bodyguard next to him."
But there's also the beginning of the book when he meets like his like the evil demon nonsense hero, heavenly demon something.
Oh yeah, there is that
And
part. That part is actually super calculated.
he's like,
Oh
oh, that's the
yeah.
main character of the book. I better like buddy with this dude.
I
And
forgot
then the
about
guy's like, "Oh my
that.
God, you're my blood brother."
You're
He's like, "Yes, blood
right.
brother. Thank you."
You are right about that. I forgot about that part. Not gonna lie, I'm my like rose tinted glasses about this one. I haven't read like the main plot in a while. It's just like, oh, you know, he just travels around the world and saves people, and everywhere he goes, he just look. He's saving children in the latest chapter. He's so kind and benevolent. I did forget about that part. He totally did save that guy purely to. It was like all a thing to make him agreed to be sworn brothers as well. Because if I
Yeah.
recall correctly, the guy did not seem terribly happy to want to be, but then he was like, listen, I saved your life, so I'll be your older brother. And if I'm your older brother, you can't disobey me. Oh, and I'll implant this suggestion so you'll remember it 10 years later down the line when I need that. Yeah,
Uh,
did forget about that.
blood brothers.
It's really wholesome, though.
Wholesome.
Wholesome. Okay, okay, compared to the trash out there, it's wholesome, okay? Compared to the other places where like this plotline would not flow because the main character would like look at the blood brother and be like, well, how can I just steal his power? Oh, right, with my convenient necromancy skill, I will suck his soul out of his body and I'll become him. I'll take his fortune and ruin him.
Oh.
Instead, at least he lets
Oh.
him live. I don't know. No, that's such a low bar.
We don't
Uh,
even see him ever. You're Sworn brothers. What the frick?
We see him. We see him like 2 more times.
Two times.
Yeah. Listen, he went and became like the successor of the Blood Cult or whatever. He doesn't have time to be doing this shit.
Uh,
They're on 2 different factions, just like the other girl that he sees every so often, who's like the Poison Whip girl, and who will be better Poison Whip girl in the future. And he's
yeah.
like, "Oh, you'll be better on later on. Let's be friends, shall we?" That is true. Well, okay. I think I've asked this in a previous episode. If you got sent into like, say what, like name a book series that you read.
Oh yeah, Percy Jackson.
Sure, if you got sent into Percy Jackson's universe and you were dumped at like the crest of the hill that separates borders between the mortals and Camp Half Blood, and you saw like when you knew that if you stepped in there, you'd probably be in that shit. And assuming you're reincarnated into like the body of a Half Blood as well, right? And you step into that camp, maybe if you do, and you see like Percy Jackson and Annabeth and or all the other people who are like prominent characters in the book, would you not try to be on their good side? Or would you just go, oh, just go stick with the random rabble over there? Oh, hey, like people of like Artemis, like yeah. Would you? Or would you like go with the popular people? Or not with the popular people, with the main characters, because you know that they're gonna be up to some shit in later books and you wanna be part of that, right?
I don't know, like they live a kind of whack life.
Oh,
And it's not quite the same because they're not actually that rich, you know? Like
no, but Percy does get very strong later on.
yeah, I don't know if he'd be willing to like blow up a nation and like make you the king though.
No,
I
but
don't know if there's actually that
but
much
you
benefit
could
of being
be
Percy's friend.
you get to go on wacky adventures and get like tied up in a bed where a giant tells you he's gonna stretch you forever. Then you might be able to step into a casino where you can never leave, and you know maybe you'll get to shoulder the weight of the world for like 5 minutes at a time or something. Spoiling like the first 3 books.
uh, if there was a story where like I could become friends with like rich McBunnybag,
Rich buddy back.
I don't know, maybe I'd try to be friends with him, but like it would feel kind of scummy.
Would it though? What if you
Yeah.
like genuinely became friends with him? You know he's
Okay, but
strong
why'd you approach him in the first place?
to be his friend because he's strong and he's the main character. But over time, you become this person's best friend or one of their most confided in people. You become naturally part of that series. That's like Doctor's Rebirth. At this point, he's no longer a doctor. Well, uh, he sort of is still. he,
Still a
yeah,
doctor.
he's still a doctor. Abandoning it would mean like if he straight up like did not use like advanced futuristic techniques that they wouldn't know about. But he, uh, I don't
He's
know.
like still like using book knowledge to
He is, and he even writes down his own like medical book to teach other people before I
do
guess like the memory
surgery.
filters out of his mind or some shit. I don't know if I got sent into like I don't know like off the top of my head, not that I would want to be sent in there by the way, but off the top of my head, JJK or something. What if I got sent to Jujutsu Kaisen's world and I am some random person who I don't know. I just live in that world. Cool. I'm gonna see if I can go and work at the random convenience store down the street. No, I'm gonna see if I have some fucking sorcery power that I can apply and maybe go to the school. I don't know. Like obviously, right? Like, and you know, if you're sent to it's usually well, obviously, usually if you're sent to like a world like that, you have some sort of defining. Well, actually, he didn't really have any defining trait. He was just sent there as a kid. Some random kid who was probably gonna die. or did die, I think.
Was supposed to die, yeah.
So actually, you know what? He actually sort of had to trick people, right? Otherwise, he would just be like homeless and starving. It's a method of survival. I don't know why I'm trying to argue for this this guy. I'm just saying, if I was in the same scenario, I would want to also live, you know? Like I don't think if I got sent to like yeah, say let's go back to Percy Jackson. If I was put into Percy Jackson's universe, I mean, okay, well things would I guess be different. Are you getting do you in your scenario, I guess, you can choose is this God being benevolent to you? Do you like die in the real world and that's why you're getting sent there? Or are you just like sent there for some reason, like Trash of the Count's Family, where you just read a book and one day you're in the book?
Died. That couldn't hit you.
You died?
Yeah.
Then I would assume that you would be in the body of like someone who was given a second chance, right? At least you'd be in like Star Instructor Master Bake's body, right? Like, I feel like you wouldn't be sent there as a complete nobody. Now, granted, this guy got sent there as a complete nobody, but he was also sent into a Murum world, which is separate from like normal society world. I don't know. I feel like if you are sent into like a book series, it's a weak argument, I know, but like you should have at least come over with some sort of boon. And I'm not saying like the world's finest assassin reincarnated thing where it's like, hey, choose, get your unique passive and your two lesser unique passives, and here you
Yeah,
go.
grandma skills.
Eh. And then he's like, oh, I'll choose infinite healing and regeneration. And the goddess is like, oh my god, it's not even legendary. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. I mean, I feel like you would I I don't know. I can't tell anymore. Honestly, if I got sent to the Worm World after I died or just read a book, I would fucking die immediately.
Probably,
So
but
you bet
I
your
don't
ass
know.
if I come across the next heavenly demon, I'm gonna fucking try to be his friend, okay?
It's just like in the story, he actually has like a nice friendly relationship with his master.
He
Right?
does. But
But then like there's like these three characters. He's just like strategy. We don't need
well
friends.
well you have to remember that he also had to like act both as a kid and as like a very gifted kid to get accepted by his master. I feel like it was just all for survival. I don't know. I mean, like, not everyone's so lucky to be reincarnated and then become Star Instructor Master Bake, where your dad just lets you laze around all day and teach kids every so often.
It's just a bit scummy. It feels very slimy.
It's survival. Like,
Eh, he doesn't even make use of the heavenly demon. They
he
meet.
he does. He does. In the two times he meets, the Heavenly Demon gives him a bracelet that helps him.
Oh my, he's the freaking apprentice of a mastered martial arts clan. He doesn't need, at that point, he's already helped himself.
Well, it's a workplace he's making connections, Chris. He's using a primitive
Literally, the
form of
rich getting
communication
richer.
prior to LinkedIn, you know? He's just like, hey, I'll add you as little brother. In a few years, you'll remember me for that.
He's just playing like, he's just crewing like S rank relationships with people. I don't know. He's just mooching off them power, even though he himself is doing totally fine.
Okay, okay. I okay, wait. Okay. So you're saying though, if you were like this is also similar to maybe like Omniscient Reader. If you were put into a book series or a light novel, web novel series that you were reading, you knew a good amount of the plot or the whole plot, in Omniscient Reader's case, and you were put into the body of maybe yourself, maybe someone else. but you come across a character and you know it's that character that you read about, and you know it's them because they look like the protagonist. Would you not try to like be on their good side? Are you just content living some random fucking life in the new world?
Honestly,
You would?
what? So maybe I would try to be their friend, but I'd actually try to be their friend. I wouldn't be like,
What do you mean
hey,
actually try to be their friend though? I feel like he is a friend of the demon
is he?
and
Is he? I want to confirm the facts here. Is he really a friend with the demon?
over time, yes.
Over what? The two time over the two times? The first time being
The
the trauma
first
child.
time he had to quell the trauma. It was the only way he could live, Chris.
Second time he
Are
just
you
gets free
willing to
stuff.
die? Are you willing to die rather than being like a little bit cunning to get a potential future ally on your side?
Was he being? I think there was a little bit of more manipulation. I think it reached from trying to survive to free ally.
Yeah, but he didn't know if he was gonna be a free ally. He knew that he would still have those like demonic urges or whatever. He just wanted to like. Now, granted, the like "I'm your big brother" thing was very conniving of him because apparently he can't go against that. But everything else, I feel like is fair. I don't know. I feel like he was given a chance to live, and now he's a doctor, but he can't show off his prowess unless he becomes somebody. He can't become somebody if he doesn't have connections, so therefore he gets connections. It's like real life, you know?
He's doing it the very slimy way.
There is no other way to do it. I'm just
What do you mean?
saying that
You can just be friends with people.
you cannot.
Their
That guy
place
was
is
not
just
gonna
be
give
friends
that.
with people.
There's not enough time to just be friends with a heavenly demon
What do
who's gonna kill
you
you. What the fuck are you talking about?
mean? You just be friends with people. You doesn't have to go through this nonsense brainwashing.
It's not brainwashing.
It's
It's
very interesting
how to put it.
manipulation.
It's contingency factors, okay?
Oh, this is starting to
Contingency
sound like business
plans.
corporate talk.
No. It's plans for countermeasures in the case something happens. He needs to make sure that this allyship is actually something that'll be kept.
And the return on investment has to be there.
Listen, he didn't. I don't think he actually knew or thought that he would get a bracelet out of it. But he did recognize the bracelet, which means it was strong. But like, I don't think he actually expected that to be the gift or anything.
I think he knew he would get something out of being the big brother of the main character.
I mean, I think everyone would know they would get something out of being the whatever of the whatever. Like, I mean, that does beg the question though. If you were a close friend of Percy Jackson, what the fuck would you get? You wouldn't really get anything, would you?
You know, Percy Jackson's not actually rich, or like he's powerful, but he's not like wealthy.
I did never read into like the crossover series more, where he like goes to like the Roman camp and like loses his memories and all that shit. So I don't actually know if he like did anything different during that time or anything. But yeah, Percy Jackson. I mean, you got to be his friend. That's cool enough, I guess.
Are you his friend, or are you just near him to try and get stuff?
Okay, well, okay. What is a friend? Okay, there's a part of a friendship where it becomes more natural over time. So even though I'm just arguing that you can. Maybe your intention was a little scummy the first time you met someone, but then over time you actually become their friend. Is what I'm trying to say.
To do that, you have to be around that person, though, right? You can't just like call on him every now and then, like, oh, gift.
He's on the other side of the fucking planet. How do you expect him to call on him?
Saying.
They're on two different morality sets.
To leave his blood brother in the very beginning. He did. He was like, "Oh, you want to be? I can be your apprentice." Yeah, I'll be his apprentice.
he would not have been a doctor if he got sent to the blood sector or whatever. He would not be the brother or the doctor. He
I'm just saying, there's a little bit of scumminess going around here.
Okay, I'm
There's a
gonna have
lot
to
of
find this chapter.
connivingness.
I don't know where it is though. I don't know where the chapter is where they fight.
It's probably. Oh wait, who fights? Oh, the doctor and the brother.
Well, yeah, when do they meet and actually deal with each other? I don't remember. But I don't know. I feel like it's
I would agree with you if they were actually friends,
I mean,
but this story is not that.
okay, I found the part where he rescues him. He says he's the main character. It's probably a good idea to get on his good side. And he has a bit of guilt as well.
Oh, he's got guilt for being a scumbag.
No,
Great.
he's like, I wonder if the kid that I tried to save in real life died or survived, and I hope that
Oh,
this one
oh.
survives, you know?
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
also felt bad when the kid died. Oh,
did
he's
you.
such a good person. Oh,
Oh,
clap, clap, clap,
you
clap.
uh, do people have to be super fucking selfless in the real world for you to like feel sympathy or empathy for them? What the
Oh,
fuck? This guy was just trying to live a
Solo.
life. Yeah, it might have been a little less altruistic than like fucking like who I was gonna say like Nightingale, but I don't remember if she was actually a good person or not. But I don't know historically like Mother Teresa and stuff. But like I don't remember if she was actually a good person. But like you're basically saying like they have to be like a saint
No,
in
no,
order
they don't
for
have
them
to
to
be good
deserve
people.
to
They
not
just
die or
have to,
something.
they just have to not treat their allies like items.
He's not though. He
Huh?
the thought process is there, but he does grow an allyship with both the archer's daughter and the brother. Okay, they like
Archer's daughter. What about the archer? So I'm pretty
he
sure in the
helps
very
the
beginning
archer
he's
get
like, "Oh, it's a two
enlightenment.
for one."
Yeah, but he also helps the archer inadvertently gain enlightenment. It becomes
Yeah,
like
because
a higher.
that's because the archer, by that point, promised to serve his master till the end. So it was really helping himself at that point.
And his master. He's
And his
helping the person
master,
who
yeah.
saved him.
You
Is
see,
that not?
him, I will not deny
He
that
just
he
wants to
and his
repay the
master's
doctor.
relationship is nice. But what about the other people?
I I don't remember honestly. I'm gonna have to read back this thing and figure it out. Okay, so the guy awakens. He attacks the little master. Uh, he has to calm down the psycho. He says a thing that calms him down. That is sort of manipulative. It's like some Winter Soldier shit. I I don't
This story does
he's
not really show them being
opportunistic.
friends.
He's opportunistic.
Oh, you mean scummy?
There is a difference. You can be
Oh, okay.
opportunistic and not be scummy. I'm sure there are people who tried to be friends with me throughout my lifetime that had less than good reasons to do so. Maybe they just wanted help during a class, and I happened to be smart in high school and like college, where I sort of was a dumbass. But in high school, people actually did want to copy my answers. So And, you
I
know,
mean, they might have
some of
actually
them
been your
became
friend too,
friends.
though.
Yeah, but they may have had not the best intentions starting out, but it becomes
This
wholesome
story is
later.
not that. This story is not that. We're like 200 chapters in.
Uh-huh, he's
Where
saving
are we?
children.
Oh my god.
with the
He's a
knowledge
doctor.
that one of the children will be strong in the future.
Oh,
And it's wholesome, you know? He saved his sister. He now owes a debt to the guy. He's securing
this,
his future, Chris. There's
this
nothing wrong with
story
this.
is just full of just horrible intentions and
It's not
bad
even that
vibes.
horrible though. He's actually sort of like I he okay. He maybe this is the point I'm trying to make. He's at the very least better than like 80% of the other protagonists of these stories where they get an ally and they're like, "All right, cool. You're my ally? Cool. Now, as an ally, you've got to sign this written contract that says you are now my fucking slave or some shit." And then they call them your like, "Oh, get to work, workhorses," and like shit like that. Come on, you packer. Like, and then they treat him like shit. So the fact that they're actually trying to be friends, or well, I don't no friend. He's trying to he's he's
Gain advantage over these people for his own benefit.
the more you talk, the more I am losing my motivation to try to defend this. And the only reason why I wanted to try and defend this is because I feel like I don't know if I was like sent into a world like that, I would try to do that as well.
Would you actually be their friend, or would you just like kind of be like, oh, there's a
Well,
better
and then that
opportunity over
leads us to
here?
the other thing. I think he's genuinely trying to be their friend. I don't think he's just trying to
I don't
manipulate
see
them.
that anywhere. There's
We don't have to
nothing
see
in the
it.
story that's like that. It's a story. The point of the story is they're telling us his story. His story is not him trying to be their friend.
It's him being a doctor, but he's
And
securing
get
connections.
carrying connection. Oh.
I feel I don't know. I I I don't know. At the very least, I
Feel
feel
like
like him and
one
the
relationship.
him and the archer's daughter. They're friends. Are they
You
not
mean the
friends?
Archidar that shows like 100 chapters ago? We haven't seen her since.
Because she's not the main character, Chris?
So, why can't she? I don't know. If she was really a friend, shouldn't they? I don't know. Do things?
We don't
Shouldn't
have
she like talk with
okay.
her?
This is the web comic. It might happen in the web novel. I don't
In
know
the web
that.
novel, do
Neither
you
do
think they
you.
have more than one line? Maybe 2 lines?
Yes, I'm sure there's like an excursion where they go out and fucking play, okay? Or like fight together, okay?
I think this is just one of those power fantasies
You
where the
think
main character is just going around doing stuff, getting a benefit for himself.
throughout this whole thing, when reading it the first time at least, I was like, oh my god, this is super wholesome. You didn't feel that?
Not at all. I think there was a little bit of
Okay, not
wholesomeness
even
when
when
he was
he's just
trying,
saving people?
when he was, helping
When
his
he's literally
master.
just trying to like save people from death, you didn't think, oh, that's pretty neat. That's pretty wholesome. That's pretty nice of
I
him.
think it was good of him. I don't think it was wholesome. I don't know.
Or you just that desensitized to all the other main characters who treat everyone like fucking scum and like attack
Oh,
their parents and like rob everyone out of everything. And they're like, oh, an opportunity to make money. Oh, wonderful. I'm in. How much will you pay me? Oh, that's not enough. I will kill you and your entire family and then take your riches and then I will be satisfied. You, would you
cool.
rather him be cruel?
No, him saving people is because he's a doctor. There are a lot of people who want to save people, but they're not doctors. He's a doctor. He can do it.
So if he wasn't a doctor,
What would he
saving
be doing?
people would be
He would
better.
just. It's just that.
But because he's a doctor, I mean, it's only fine. It's only fair that he saves people.
No, it's not that. Him saving people is objectively good. It's nice. He goes
Uh
out and
huh.
saves people.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say that, like, like Deku saves people. I don't think he's like wholesome when he's a hero trying to save people. But like, it's kind of like it's just kind of nice, but it's not like an amazing part of the story. Like, anyone can write line, oh, this guy saved the people.
Deku's
Like,
not a doctor though.
exactly, he's a hero. He saves people.
He is a hero. He does save people. Him saying saving Eri was nice though. Everyone felt good for that.
Oh, that's because they had a relationship, not a romantic one, but like they developed a
They've
like a relationship with each other.
I
Like these lines where he's like, "Oh, X person saves X person." Like it doesn't really matter in the context of the story. It's just a random piece of information.
I I will defend my
Further,
initial take on the story, even though I'm starting to feel like it was very, very wrong. I will defend it because I feel like, at the very least, it felt wholesome to me when I was reading it. I no longer know why, because all your statements are very valid. I no longer know why I thought it was so wholesome, because apparently, good God, this man's a fucking cold-blooded scumlord. Goddamn, how dare he try to.
he had legitimately wholesome
He should
moments
have
with
just
his
let this
master.
heavenly demon to die.
He had good head pats moments with his master.
He
He
could have
tried really
not
hard to
saved his
save him.
master.
Yeah,
His
him and his
intentions to
master's
save the master
relationship.
were not terribly pure either, you
Yeah,
could
but he
argue.
actually developed a relationship with the doctor. Like he actually,
Yes.
they're actually master and doctor now.
Yeah, they're like father and son, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. There's even a moment where he was like, "Oh yeah, I never really had a father. Master's like my father," and then the master gives him a head pat. It's
The
very cute.
the little demon child he saves is like belonging to a different world than he is. There is no way they can be together, and you can see that foster relationship. What do you expect
I
the other to
feel.
do? Have him like visit the sect every so often? Just to give
I
you that
think.
sort of serotonin or whatever boost of like, oh my god, they're being brothers.
I think that would have been better as a story than currently what it is right now, which is, oh, the friends came. Oh, present, nice.
It, he solidified his standing in his sect. He is now at the point where he can no longer just be thrown away to die. He is now sending over a gift of gratitude or whatever the fuck, or just, I don't remember exactly, but if I recall correctly, there was some reason why, okay? He was actually grateful to be saved or something, okay?
So, kind of a scummy little thing he did there.
Okay, I'll ask a question again then, based off something else we've reviewed. Doombreaker, or Suicidal Battle God.
Yeah,
Ned. He
who's Ned?
approaches Ned. Ned's the like red-haired guy who used to be his master, but like doesn't know him in the present life, right?
Oh yeah.
He approaches Ned because he like can sort of predict that whole thing, and he tells him a bunch of stuff that he wouldn't know. That is also true, and he like becomes Ned's ally through saying that he's the shadow disciple of his master, which is very not true, right? But then later on, they spend more time together. I feel like they're becoming legitimate allies. Is
They
that
are.
scummy?
No, they are
Why is that
friends.
different? He approached him
Because
under a very scummy reason.
the
Told him
doctor
fucking
and
lies.
heavenly demon are not friends. That's the difference.
How do you know that for sure?
What do you mean they've interacted twice?
That we know of, okay?
Okay, it's a story. It's the author's fault if the author didn't make them show their friends.
He doesn't have to interact with them a bunch of. You can tell by the.
By the gifts he's getting? Oh.
How do I try to like make it seem better? I don't know, but I feel I don't know. Listen, if well, actually, I probably wouldn't Okay, if I was in a position where I had money to give to someone I hadn't seen in 3 years, but I was still on pretty good standing with because I don't know, the last time we talked was pretty good, I'd be
You
fine
said
with giving a gift. But I am also at the present not in a financial situation where I could do that, so. I don't know, I feel like you can take long absences. Or just like, maybe they talk online through Discord or something, you know? Oh, I'm clutching the fucking straws. Okay. You can win the argument. It's not wholesome, okay? What a scummy piece of shit, scumlord.
he has a wholesome relationship with his master, and it's legitimately cute.
What? It's only wholesome though, you're saying, because we saw them grow closer and he spent a lot of time with him. If he and
It
his
wasn't just
master
time.
didn't
He's trying
interact
to say
much, it would
it's
still
not
be
just the
scummy.
it's not just the interaction. He legitimately, tried to save his master. He did things for his master. His master did things for him. The master cares
He
for him,
knows
and
that
he
the
cares for the
master is an
master.
integral character of the novel, and he knows that this illness is the one thing that's holding him back. He decides to cure his master, not only because it'll help him, but also because he knows that it'll help the whole plot go along.
They
He's
grow
securing his
into a
own
father.
future, but it's
He
the
grows into
intentions
a
in the beginning are
father-son
still
relationship.
scummy.
It's
Why
he
is this one
grows into a
wholesome?
because he grows into a father-son relationship with the
But
master.
that's only
They,
because you see them interact more on screen. If the whole thing was flipped and he just spent a lot of time with his brother, you'd probably say that was wholesome too, wouldn't you?
I would. That's exactly the crux of the argument.
No, okay. Say I go and read the web novel. In the web novel, they actually talk a lot more or something. I don't know. Maybe they send letters back and forth. They're pen pals, okay? Would that make it more wholesome for you?
If they just sent letters to each other, no, they don't just be like the Archer daughter.
He's friends with the daughter. I swear to fucking god. There's no way she would grow up and be strangers with the fucker and be like, oh yeah, I'll fight with you. There's no fucking way, dude. Why can you not, just because they didn't spend time on screen being friends with each other, that's the difference? You wanted like panels of them going to the market and like running around and being kids together? That's what
No,
would make it more wholesome?
they have to have a little bit, but they also have to have a reason why they can't just be like, I don't
It was a
know,
time skip.
in the same panel together.
It was a time skip.
Time skips are you can't just like have these two people time skip and then everyone and then like, oh yeah, friends.
It was a I it's a web novel. It's a webtoon. They cut corners. You're not gonna see every little nitty gritty fucking detail, okay? Kim Dokcha in the novel is way better friends with everyone that he interacts with in Omniscient Reader, but you don't see that in the webtoon. He looks like he is actually sort of approaching everyone and just treating them as disposable allies as well, in a way.
Not
But you
really,
know that as a
actually.
reader, you know that he actually cares about his people.
Kim Dokcha like legitimately tries to save the people around him that are
Yeah,
his
but you could
friends.
argue that he also tried to approach the main character, Junghyuk, because he knows that that's the main character. And he
Yeah,
acted like a prophet because he didn't want to be killed by the main character. And then over time, over a long, long time, they become friends and like
yeah,
legitimate allies. But
this is true.
at
They don't do that in Doctor's Rebirth.
they could in the future.
Do you know how many chapters we're in?
Well, okay, would you send a gift to someone you hardly fucking knew just because? And it's like a bracelet
Uh,
that'll help you like immensely and has
they
like
were.
super good qualities.
I was just like, that's
What
the
was he
reason
blackmailed?
why he did that. They were blood brothers.
Yeah, does that part not mean anything to you? Do they have to be friends to be wholesome blood brothers?
No, it doesn't mean anything. He was brainwashed.
I we're not getting
Uh,
anywhere with this.
haven't
It's been
you,
44 minutes of this argument. Let's just rate the fucker, okay? Uh, nothing's gonna happen if we keep arguing about this, okay? You win, you win, you win, okay? It's not wholesome. I don't know why I'm trying to defend it, okay?
I'm saying
If there's
that
anyone out here who actually listens to the podcast, listen, just give me your opinion. Give us your opinion, okay? Do you think you have to? If you were put into a world like this, you got killed in your real life trying to save a kid, but apparently Chris doesn't think anything because, oh, doctors without borders, blah, blah, blah. You do this out of immoral reasons. If you got put into this scenario and you're in this case where you could save the main character of this novel, I mean, you could always just leave him to die, but you recognize this is the main character of the novel. Would you not try to save him and try to form some sort of beneficial relationship? So, like, would you not do that? Is that scummy to do? Maybe I'm the one in the wrong here. Maybe I don't understand, but like, I feel like that's not scummy. You're just trying to self-preservation yourself in a world that is not yours. But this person is the main character. He clearly belongs in the world. I feel like it would only be fair. He has to act in a way.
Argument.
He like purposely acts in a way that makes the White Dragon Clinic guy take him in. And even multiple times in the series, the White Dragon Clinic head is like, how the fuck does this kid know all this stuff? He's like keeping something, but I'll trust him. But he like nurtures that trust.
It's not just about the beginning though. It's about actually being friends. Like, he's in a very beneficial relationship with this heavenly demon who he literally does not give a crap about. He chose the White Dragon Clinic over him.
I don't think he doesn't give a crap about him. He was also part of the White Dragon Clinic. We have never seen
him give a crap about him.
He got attacked. The guy, he saved the guy's life while in the clinic. I'm pretty sure.
I think the Heavenly Demon brother saved him, maybe.
No, I'm reading the chapter back. He was like already in the clinic in a way. But he does save him. And then there's like assassins fighting outside. And he makes them like join forces and stuff. I don't remember where anything happens after that. But he is part of the clinic in a way. He's like getting saved by the people in the clinic, so he doesn't actually like know, you know, if he's like in the clinic or not. But he's like saving the kid at the same time that he's also like getting introduced into the sect. And he's doing so, what? Because of altruistic reasons? No, I'm assuming he's also doing so in part because he wants to like be recognized by the clinic so he can become part of the clinic, and so they won't just cast him out as a beggar child.
One of the points of the argument isn't just about altruism.
I'm not gonna win this.
It's about trying to be friends with someone and not like just
I feel like they're
meeting
friends,
them for one time. We don't see that ever.
But who are you to then decide that they're not friends?
What if we literally, there's no evidence that they're friends?
I have friends online. I have not met them in person. Does that make them not friends?
You don't have to meet them. You've met them. You talk with them. You have conversations with them. When was the last time the main character in the Heavenly Demon has had any interaction ever?
It's a story about this character and his travels. It's not a story about him and the Heavenly Demon. The Blood Demon Man does not have such a large stake. They are side characters for a reason. It would be different if this was like Lazy Lord and they were also main characters. Then you'd see them a whole lot fucking more.
I just want to see the scene where there's a reason why the Heavenly Demon thinks
they
the
could
other
be
guy
friends
is
off
friends.
Screen. I'm just saying, why can you not accept that?
Because there's no evidence for it.
Okay, it's been 49 minutes of this shit. You want to rate? You want to rate it?
Okay.
You can win the argument for now, I guess. It's not wholesome. Fuck me, I don't have standards. I mean, we already knew that. But, like, apparently it's not wholesome. You heard it here first. They're not friends. Fuck goddamn the fucking scumlord of a piece of shit. The art's good, though.
That's pretty good.
Give the art a 9 out of 10. It's not, like, super wowing, but it's definitely very good.
Oh, frick, I have to see what the art looks like, actually.
Oh, yeah. Go and pick a chapter where it looks especially bad so you can tell me why the art isn't so friendship related.
I'll give it. I'll give it a 9 out of 10 too.
At least there's something we agree on.
We always agree on this.
This is the one factor we always rate highly, yeah. The story. So it's a wholesome story full of good moments. Is what I initially thought. Apparently now I'm being told that it's not wholesome. They are not friends. He is such a scumlord. He only cultivates the relationships to help him. But I feel like that's necessary for him to stay alive in that world. It's not all that scummy if he can also become... But I forget, we don't see them become, so therefore they do not become. So... I will be rating the story an 8 out of 10. And this is based on my original thoughts of the story before you ripped apart my arguments and decided that he is not worthy.
Quandary. So you're poor. So you're reading a story. There's a poor kid. He like shivs his father because he needs money for food, and the father is too. He only has enough money for himself, and he said he wanted his food for himself.
Okay.
He's doing it for survival.
Is the father not like? Is the father like depriving the kid? Like, oh, like,
no,
you know.
He literally only has enough money for himself.
Okay. But he's not splitting it with the kid.
Yeah.
And the kid, out of like anger and desperation, shivs the father.
Yeah. I think that's survival.
Yeah, I would agree. But that's all. What?
This kid.
How is that equivalent? What the fuck?
The doctor's rebirth is just. It's not really survival. He doesn't even gain anything until like way later. He doesn't even follow the brother.
He wakes up in the middle of fuck all nowhere, has nothing to his name. Yeah, the White Dragon sect like takes him in for a bit, but they're gonna throw him out in a while. Is to prove his worth. Is that not also like him trying to survive?
It's not survival. It's him trying to get a better position for himself for his own comfort and benefit.
I don't. I rate the fucking story, Chris.
So I would give the story a 6.
All right, I'll take it. Going on to characters now. I like the characters, okay? I thought the characters were neat. I assume you have different things to say.
I think there are some good characters.
This is gonna go. Whatever score I give it, you're gonna give it a lower score. But then again, I never said this podcast wasn't biased. I like the Heavenly Demon father figure. I like the little dragon. I like all the people he's interacted with. To me, there is an amount of wholesomeness in how they act. He is not so morally corrupt. He's not Luo Wuji. He does not literally, like... Does Luo Wuji ever become friends with his people? That's like... And he spends the whole fucking thing with them. How much time has he spent with the Lanar or whatever, the blue-haired girl? He spends a whole fuck ton of time with her. What do you call them, friends?
Does he ever attempt to just use them?
Yes.
He's literally the master of that girl. Like, that's his job. Like, he's being paid to do that. Like, that's a mutual exchange.
Not the disciple, the blue-haired girl.
Who's the blue-haired girl? Frick.
Okay. Well, that's not gonna work if you don't remember the characters that show up in it. The blue-haired girl he meets like one day, and she's like getting assaulted by some guy in a hotel, and they get the room not wrong, so like it's actually his room or something. But
Oh, the pop star.
yeah, and then he like saves her, but then she's like, "Oh my god," you're like, "Oh, help me," and he's like,
I think he
"No."
did that
But
because
then
he was trying
like
to get something out of
she
her. He did that because he's Luigi and
no,
the guy was being like, no, I
the
think
guy pissed
the
him
person,
off. But
yeah,
then she
that's
tries
why
to
he saved
be
her.
friends, and then
He brushes
just
her off.
yeah, okay. But
He's
then
not
she keeps
trying to gain like advantage of her.
but she also keeps showing up afterwards, and at some point, he just treats her like family. What happened after that? We see her a lot, but how the fuck do we know they got close? How'd they get close? Why does he even feel feelings for them? Is she scummy?
Luigi's story. It's not really about like trying to get advantage from her. Luigi's motives
Okay,
are
would you
just
say
purely
that
selfish.
she's not a huge part of his story, right? She's just a side
Yeah.
character. That the fucking demon is not a huge part of his story. He's a side character. They can be friends
Yeah.
without interacting a metric fuck ton. I'm just trying to argue that.
Well, there is evidence that Luigi and she
At
has
this
actual
point, based on the
interactions.
screen time that we have seen with our little demon or little white dragon, him and the fucking dog are better friends based on screen time alone.
That's probably true, actually.
Okay, it's useless. Okay, I'm giving the characters an 8 out of 10. I like the characters. What will you give it? We can argue about this apparently forever, and I'm not gonna win because I also agree with your point. I just don't see why you don't think that people can not be friends if they're just not on screen. It's like, you know,
I
Kirito in the Sword Art Online. Okay, I can't. I won't bring Sword Art into this. That would be making an actual laugh for Infamous. Oh, so Kirito in the first season. I'm not gonna argue that. That's actually pulling shit out of my ass. I can't defend Sword Art on this show. We'll do that when we actually review anime one time. What did you give the characters, Chris?
hmm, there's a lot of them, and they're all kind of cool.
Hmm.
Um,
But how many points would you dock for the main character being a scummy fucklord?
it, it's not the fact like I am okay with scummy fucklords, but he
You don't have to
pretends to be a
repeat what I
good
say.
person.
You didn't have to repeat that. I know you don't say that word much.
I'll give it a 7.
And now we do math. And now I remember that I don't need math. So that's a 7 plus a 9, which is a 15, a 16. 16 plus 7.5. 15 plus 7.5. Or wait, 16 plus 7.5. Right? Yeah, 16 plus 7.5 would be 23.5. 23.5 out of 30 is something, because I don't fucking know. What would that be? 7.83. Crazy.
Oh.
That's a recognizable number. I feel like we've had a lot of 7.83s before. Move this down or something so it can actually be seen. Huh. We give a lot of things 7.83. Maybe I feel like I don't know. Like oh, okay, I'm just gonna bring some more shit in there if you think the same of this stuff. Do you think in Warren Tornuvi, his relationship with Drake, that's a friendship, yeah?
I mean, they do legitimately cool things together.
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
also
that's friendship.
approached him from like scummy reasons ish. Well, not really scummy
Yeah,
reasons. He just like,
well,
I
no.
mean, that's
They
like a
just met.
rancor, yeah. Well, he also knew who Drake was based on the past, and was like, oh well, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to be his friend. So you're saying it's fine if people approach people because of like selfish or scummy reasons, as long as they grow that relationship. But we have to see it being grown, otherwise you don't trust it. Is the crux of it.
There has to be like, yeah, there has to be proof that they've actually like done friendship things. Like, would My Hero Academia be the same if Deku saw All Might, knew that All Might could give powers, and we skipped all of their meetings together? All we saw was the very beginning and the time he eats the hair.
uh...
Like, there has to be like
I
plausibility of
it,
friendship.
there was a time skip.
Uh,
There was a time skip. Time skip is so much could happen during that time period. Clearly, since he sent him the gift, he still considers him a friend.
I just don't think there's any plausibility of friendship. Like, I don't see
I
it at all.
If people who stumble upon this shit manage to come across this whole hour of bizarre argument and decide to take a stance whether for or against, just tell me, when you read that thing and you saw that relationship, did you think they were like brainwashed friends, or were they natural friends, or just begrudgingly brothers? I don't know. Like, I I don't think I I feel like you can be you in a web novels or web comic sense. If you see two characters, they interact sort of favorably, maybe, and then you see them like
Once
X years later, and they're still like, "Oh, yo, like my best friend, how you doing?" Like, you would assume then that they are in fact friends. Maybe my argument's just really dumb. Apparently, I don't know what I'm talking about. Listen, do you want to end off this thing, or do you want to keep arguing? We can keep arguing, but I don't think anything's gonna go anywhere. I feel like we're just stating our things and then stating them again. Uh,
what's the
it's been
next?
a fun episode though.
What's the next manhwa?
I want to point out, just to anyone who did make it this far, I don't actually really care, but but it's fun arguing. I felt like me in high school.
Oh,
Back in high school, there was this like, not like debate club, but it was like a Facebook group, and we had like 60 members, and we just like argued politics, and it was like horrible because people would actually get into like super mad and then carry it over to school and then still argue in school. It was like it was fun though. It was fun. I don't know. I don't miss it. I'm
I like
willing to take
Manhwa.
the L.
Oh,
I don't really care. I just feel like somehow when I read it, I felt like it was so nice and wholesome. I had like warm, fuzzy feelings. But
there are times that
apparently,
I felt
they were
that too,
misled.
but they were only with the master. He and the master were like 99% of the story. So like it makes sense. I just don't think he and the Heavenly Demon were that.
I feel like at some point we got away from the fact. It's fine. What's the next one? You're picking this time because I suggested Doctor's Rebirth.
Uh,
Throw anything at me. What do you want us to
hmm,
review, huh? You could go to
uh,
Sura list and just go down some new shit. Want to review something that's horribly similar? What about Doctor Player? Please don't. That one's really I don't like that one. I really don't want to read it again. But you could force me to. That's the crux of this. You could force me to review any of this weird shit out there.
we've read a lot.
We've read a lot, but we haven't reviewed a lot. So we could
It's
always review
true.
something like Damn Reincarnation or another series that we have both read, but or we could read something like Rise from the Rubble. I don't know why you would, but you could. And there's also like a few that I haven't read here. I haven't really read a lot of the like ones that feel like it would be bad. I've not actually read Drug Devourer, the one where the man like ingests a cigarette to gain caffeine powers. It could be good, maybe. Uh, Shadowless Night. I don't
How
think I've actually read that one. I sort of read it, but I didn't go far. Poison Eating Healer. That seems a ripoff. I don't read that.
how to
Dude,
live as a villain?
How to Live as a Villain. I have not read that. 76 chapters, huh? Okay. What's the synopsis here? Oh boy. You're chosen to be a player in a game. Oh. Ah. You know, I might like this one. Have you read this one?
No.
Alright.
I just
Fresh
thought it
new
had like a medium
opinions.
amount of chapters.
How to Live as a Villain. I'll change the title. We'll see you fucking next week. How to Live as a Villain. Now, I hope that it'll be less controversial. Maybe this guy makes actual friends or something. I don't know. But until next time, I guess. See ya.